Ladies and gentlemen, gossip day for town.
Hello guys, me and my dog, we love Buhari. Say you love Buhari.
Thank you so much. So let's move quickly now to some of the issues that we're going to be discussing more on the program. The federal government says it has received the over 311 million US dollars looted monies from former dictator Sani Abacha. But the president says it will make judicious use of those funds, and it won't be the usual way those sort of monies got wings and flew out of the coffers of government. Take a look at the monies returned to the country in the past few years. The breakdown, as we understand from Transparency International, for what we know, that under the General Abdulsalami Abubakar government, 750 million US dollar, under the Olusegun Obasanjo government from 1999 up to 2007, 2 billion US dollars under former President Yaradua, Goodluck Jonathan, under President Goodluck Jonathan, 227 US dollar, 227 million US dollar, and presently, for what we know, about 630 million US dollars is what we understand that is coming from under this government, present administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. But this is what the present government says it will use the 311 million US dollar for. One of these, the things that they said they will use it for is the second Niger Bridge, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Expressway, and parts also to be invested in the Mambila Power Project. Tonight, we'll be taking a look at this, the execution of this for the fear of some Nigerians. Also, we look at the infectious disease bill. I'm now being joined on the program by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Femi Falana. All right, just for a moment, let's go to our Abuja studio and speak to the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Mr. Adesina, for your time tonight. Let me begin by asking you, the question is, a lot of people believe that this government has received about 600 million US dollar out of the Abacha, the repatriation from the Abacha loot. And people are wondering, what has those money been used for? And this very one, do we see what you said this one is going to be used for? The fear of the utilization of the fund, judicious use of it.
Yes, this question has always come up, and I recall speaking to you about this just after the 2018 or 2019 budget was passed. The question came up, what is the Abacha loot being used for? And I pointed to a section of that budget which came under the subhead recoveries. And that recoveries was the Abacha loot, which was to be used for the social investment program for that year. So what the loot had always been used for had always been in the budget. If people just took the time to study the budget properly, they will see the subheads that accounted for those funds.
So, yes, this one, the presidency came out yesterday to say that these monies are not going to be looted this time around, that this time around that the government of Buhari, President Buhari, will not allow government monies to be used as personal ATMs. Those are some of the words coming from the presidency. So the question before we come into this 311 million is the accountability of the ones that are being used for. What would you tell Nigerians, or what would you say to those who are thinking that has that money, the initial one, been well utilized, and has it been well accounted for?
Yes, and it takes us back to what I've just said. Every year's budget in the preceding years had that subhead, recoveries, and that is the Abacha loot. And what it was used for is clearly stated in the budget. particularly last year, year before, it was used for the social investment program. And you know, under the social investment program, you have many projects, conditional cash transfer, homegrown school feeding, you have the GEEP, you have many, many projects under the social investment program. These recoveries were used under that program, and it was clearly stated in the budget as a subhead, recoveries.
This very one, 311 million, because the presidency stated what to use it for, has it been captured in the budget of 2020?
It just came in on Monday. And before that money was returned to Nigeria, the United States government and Jersey government made it compulsory for Nigeria to state what it was going to be used for. In fact, it was one of the things that delayed it till now. They wanted to be sure that the money was not going to be relooted. We had cases of that in the past. I even recall that the former governor of Plateau State, Joshua Dariye, when he was governor, and some money was recovered from him, he came out to say what was declared was not what was recovered for him, that his loot had been relooted. So, with this government, you are not going to have anything like that at all. And the United States government and Jersey government have also made sure that there are firm and concrete agreements on what the repatriated money will be used for before it was returned in the first place. And you can be sure that there will be monitoring and evaluation, checks and balances to ensure that those funds were actually deployed to what Nigeria said they will be deployed into.
Who is supervising that monitoring and evaluation of the spending?
There are relevant government institutions that will do that, from the ministry to the audit process to even the National Assembly. All the systems you have in place will do the monitoring and evaluation. There are checks and balances in the system.
Stay with us, Mr. Femi Adesina. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the concerns of Nigerians on some of these monies and the response from the presidency. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. So, some breaking news right here on Channels Television. We can confirm to you as we speak that the Nigerians evacuated from the United Arab Emirates due to touch base have indeed arrived the country. There was a slight delay in their return earlier on because of the case of a woman who went into labor on board of that flight. We can confirm to you that the over 260 Nigerians on board of a flight from United Arab Emirates have landed in Nigeria. We give you details on that right here on the program. Let's continue with our conversation with Mr. Femi Adesina. He's a special advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on media and publicity. So some quick questions, Mr. Adesina. Was there any conditionality to the release of these funds?
Yes, the only conditionality was that Nigeria was to spell out what the funds will be used for. And they were spelled out. Infrastructure particularly, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Abuja-Kano Expressway, Mambila Plateau, Second Niger Bridge. So they were spelled out. And that makes it makes transparency easier, it makes accountability easier, and it's also a lot easier to do monitoring and evaluation.